a circle, it is the pi times the radius squared. And for the circumference, and that means the distance all the way around the edge, it is 2 times pi times r. Or sometimes you might see this written as pi times the diameter, since the radius times 2 is equal to diameter. So you can use either of those formula. So for the first one, if we're trying to find the area of this circle, then the radius here is 4, so it's pi times 4 squared. So in your calculator, you should really make sure that you're using that pi button and you're timesing it by 4 squared, which gives us 50.24 centimeters squared. And if I was wanting, so this is the area, and if I wanted the circumference of the circle, then I would actually use this first formula because that has it in terms of r rather than d. So it would be 2 times pi times the radius. So 2 times pi times the radius, which is going to give me a total of 25.12 centimeters, because that one's just a length around the edge, it's not an area. So on this second one, we need to be a little bit careful because this time I've been given the diameter, not the radius. So if you see a question like that, it might be easiest first of all just to find what the radius is. So the radius here, which is that distance, is equal to 3 centimeters, since it's half of the diameter. Okay, and we're assuming that this is the center of the circle. So the area is equal to pi times 3 squared. So just making sure that you're always using the correct one there. And that gives me 28.26. And that's centimeters squared because it's area. And then for the circumference, now I could actually use this one here and use the diameter. So it could be 6 times pi, or I could use this one here and use the radius, so it would be 2 pi times 3. So either way there, it doesn't really matter. It's just personal preference. So you're either going to have pi times 6 or 2 times pi times 3. And you can see there why it's exactly the same. And that gives you 18.84 centimeters because it's just a length around the edge. It's the perimeter of the shape. If you're looking at just a part of the triangle rather than the whole triangle, if you're looking for a part of a circle rather than the whole circle, then all you need to do is multiply by the amount of the angle you want out of 360. So you're looking at the proportion that you want out of 360. So a over 360, where a is the angle. And you still have pi r squared, and you still have pi times diameter, or 2 times pi times r. So for example, for this one here, we have an area, we have a degree of 100 degrees and a radius of 5. And we know that this is a radius because if I was to continue the circle on, you can see there that that would be a radius to the center. So the area of that part of the circle, or the sector as we call it, is going to be 100 out of 360. So that's the part of the fraction I'm looking for. And I'm going to times that by pi times r squared, which is 5 squared. Okay, so all I'm doing is just placing that same area formula with 100 divided by 360 as a fraction first, so that I'm looking at the proportion. So that then gives me an answer of 21.80 or 81 centimeters squared. So that would be the area. And then the circumference, exactly the same thing. I'm just going to find the normal circumference, so 2 times pi times r, or you could have pi times diameter, and then you're going to multiply that by the whole, the section of the circle that you want, which is 100 out of 360. So the proportion of the circle that you're interested in. And when you do that, that then gives you an answer of, so 2 times the pi times the radius, so that gives us 8.72 centimeters. And that would just be this section here, don't forget. It's just the bit at the edge. It is not the full perimeter. It's just that part of the arc. If I wanted the full perimeter, I would then need to add on 5 and add on another 5 for this side here as well.